Hey everybody, so I was going to make a post on Facebook and it got really long because there was a lot I wanted to say, so I thought maybe it would be better to do a video. Please excuse how awesome I look today. I woke up and I did P90 X3 yoga. That was insane. I love Tony though, and it really helped me out a lot. My back's been kind of sore lately, so I did that hoping that it would help, and it did. But then throughout the day, my back and my hip just started hurting again. But I still did Body Beast, chest and tries this evening. But I got to thinking, I couldn't do all my weights today. I really had a goal to make 100 pounds for my bench press this week for all 8 reps. Last week I did 105 for 4 reps, and then I had to drop down to 90 for the next 4, and then 80 for the next 8 for my drop set. So I just really wanted to make a post about guilt and what that means when you're on a journey. So I apologize, I'm going to look at the script here because it was a lot to say and I really don't want to mess it up or get too far off track. So usually when I start out a challenge group for the month, like I am doing this year for Mission September Strong, I like to talk a lot about diet. And before I talk about that, because of my guilt that I'm dealing with today, I really want to talk about guilt. And it's such a crippling emotion. When related to our fitness goals, we tend to feel guilty every time that we skip a workout, every time that we can't give 110% in our workout, anytime we cheat on our diet by eating too much or pigging out on sweets. But it's really funny. I wanted to play something, which I'm sorry, my notes were a little confusing there, but here's a little caption for you. This is what I have to say about guilt, okay? Oh. Okay, yes, it's overplayed, but it hits the point. When it comes to guilt, we gotta let it go. We gotta keep on doing what we gotta do. And the reason why many people, including myself, I've tried 10 really hard times to try and lose weight in the past. I usually lose about 30 pounds, and then after about 3 to 4 months, I give up. I get burned out. I start to feel guilty because I fall back into my old habits. I can't hit all my workouts. I stop losing weight. I hit a plateau, and I'm just not accomplishing the fast-paced goals that I set for myself. And so when you fail because you have birthday cake or you eat half of a pizza, guilt really weighs on you. You feel guilty that you haven't met your goals. You feel guilty that you cheated on your diet. You feel guilty that you haven't been able to make it to the gym enough, whether it's because you're sore or because you're just losing a little bit of interest in your workout. Maybe you need to switch it up and do something else. This path is about more than losing weight though, and weight loss is a really long road. Yes, there are people who can lose over 100 pounds in a year, but maybe that's not your path. I know it's not my path. I have 75 pounds that I would like to lose so that eventually I can compete in bikini or figure competitions, but that's just not where I am right now. And so the biggest thing when you're on the weight loss journey, especially at the beginning, is that you set attainable goals. Make sure that you do what you can. You need to make exercise and diet a focus in your life. You need to make them priorities, but it's okay to have rest days. It's okay to eat a half a pizza every once in a while. It's okay to have birthday cake and maybe even take a week off for vacation and enjoy yourself. That's fine. Maybe you'll gain 5 pounds, but I'll tell you, like I did on my honeymoon just about 3-4 weeks ago, you'll lose it all as soon as you get back and start eating better and drinking enough water within a couple of days. One of the biggest things that you really need to realize in your new journey is that you are the only person that you are going to see every single day for the rest of your life. You're the only person, the only body, the only home that is going to be constant from the minute you're born until the second that you take your last breath. And one of the things you really have to realize is that your life is worth fighting for, even if it's just baby steps that you're working for. But we're all human. We're perfectly imperfect, and we're going to have setbacks sometimes. We just need to keep fighting to get back at it. And for those of you who do not know, I was at my highest weight last Christmas, 220 pounds. And in May, I had been working out and eating well for about 5 months. But I started to get this attitude, though, like, I've only lost 30 pounds. It's been 5 months. Why have I only lost 30 pounds? And then I started to fall off the wagon. I was like, well, why am I going to keep working this hard and keep eating this way when 30 pounds, that's it? But I think that in May and June, I only worked out about 10 times. And I had been working out 3 to 5 days a week, eating really clean. And I still had this mentality like, oh, well, I've only lost 30 pounds, so why keep working at it, you know? But now I've been back to it for the last 6 weeks, and something changed in my mind. You know, I really started to realize this is a whole life journey, and it's going to be slow, and it's going to take some time, and that is fine. And you know what? In the last 6 weeks, I've lost 0 pounds, but I love getting up in the morning and working out. I do my yoga, I do cardio. I love going after school to lift weights, and I feel like part of the reason why I haven't been losing weight is I need to fine-tune my diet. But that's not my priority right now. My priority is to switch my mindset. So I really want to continue to love living my life. I want to look in the mirror and know that I still weigh 188 pounds, but I feel good about myself. Yeah, I've got some belly fat. Yeah, I've got some bingo wings, but that's fine. I can see my muscles. I know I'm strong. And finally, for the first time, I really know what it's like to have self-love. And that's what's going to get you through the long haul. Stop feeling guilty whenever you miss a workout, whenever you don't hit the weights that you want to lift, whenever you mess up on your diet, because you're going to do it. None of us can be perfect 365. It's just not possible. And you have to have cheat days to make it worth it, because otherwise, why care? If your life is just going to be strict and full of rules, no one can survive that way. Ask any student in school. Ask any child of a pastor, you know. Having a really strict lifestyle is very challenging, and it can really weigh on you. So unless you're really wanting to compete and you have a deadline to have your body in immaculate shape for a competition, or you really need to just lose those 10 pounds because you've worked so hard to lose 50, 80, 100, 500 pounds. I don't know what your goal is or where you started at. But unless you're at one of those extreme conditions where you really just need to fine-tune your body, let it go. Just chug away. Every day that you do something and you keep going is a day that you have found success. So you don't need to be like, well, I need to lose 30 pounds by the end of whatever day, because just knowing that you got up and you did something more than you would have done 6 months ago, just knowing that in a year from now, you're not going to look back and have any regrets the way that you have every time before, the way I have every time before, the 10 other times I've tried. And I was thinking, well, man, if I would have just stuck to it, I would have been where I want to be by now, right? I would have been in my figure competition at the Beachbody Classic this year. But no matter how hard you work out, no matter how well you eat, your body will never support you unless it knows that you love it. And it does. I know it's really weird to think of your body and your mind as separate things, but they are. And you have to try and get them on task. So I've got a couple goals for you for this month. And a lot of my team members have already heard these before, but the first thing I want you to do is get out a note card, and I want you to write on it, I accept myself unconditionally, all caps, right now. Look at yourself in the mirror, right in the eyes, a few times a day, and tell yourself that I accept myself unconditionally right now. Allow that thought to set in and bat away all of the bad things that come into your mind. Look at the good things. Maybe you like your smile. Maybe you like your eyes. Maybe you like the hair color or your eyebrows, or maybe you can see your chest muscles or your shoulders starting to build up. Whatever it is, find things that you like about yourself and be like, hey, body, you're doing a great job. I like that. And then find things that you don't really like about yourself and pay attention for when you see progress, because that's when it's going to be awesome. Yeah, maybe you still got bingo wings and maybe you still have extra weight around your waist, but it's going to get better. And it won't get better unless you work on it. So telling yourself that you accept yourself right now and you still love yourself right now is going to be one of the most powerful things that you can do. Just think of the way you feel when people compliment you. It feels amazing. And then think about the way it feels when people constantly crap on you and they say negative things about you, you don't want to be friends with them. Sorry, but your body can't run away from you. If you're telling it that it's a piece of crap and you don't like the way it looks, it has no choice but to live with you. You are literally abusing yourself. So stop it. That's my first task. Stop it. Accept yourself unconditionally right now. Then one of the most powerful things I've ever done, is especially during a hard cardio workout or when I really am craving some sweets, I ask myself, aren't I worth it? Aren't I worth fighting for? Aren't I worth not eating that cake? Or aren't I worth pushing a little harder in this cardio and making sure I finish it and making sure I get up in the morning to make time for those hard workouts that aren't any fun? Aren't I worth trying to find a way to enjoy them and make it not torture, but a reward for my body for being so awesome to me? And then wait for your body to answer the question, aren't I worth it? You really got to let it sit in, because the first time you ask yourself, you're going to be like, well, duh, I'm worth it. You know, I'm here. But if you really listen to what your body's going to say, the first time I ever said it, my body was like, well, you say duh, but why don't you act like it? You know? And I'm pretty sure I stopped for about 20 minutes when I realized that my body and my brain weren't on page. I wasn't treating my life like it was worth living. I wasn't loving my life like it was worth living. There were days when I didn't want to get out of bed, when my alarm went off, I was disappointed that I was alive to hear it. No, I don't have any rational explanation for that, and there's been no major traumas in my life. I just have conditioned myself to hate myself. And with that, I hated life, and I didn't truly appreciate the people in it. And there was such a disconnect between what I thought superficially, well, yeah, I'm worth it, and what I was doing with my life. And so that's the biggest thing that I can say, is just to really ask yourself, aren't I worth fighting for? And then believe that you are, because you are. And no one should have to wish that their alarm wouldn't go off in the morning, or at least wish that they weren't alive to hear it. That's ridiculous, especially when there isn't really anything bad that's going on in your life, you know? So this month, I really want you to focus on you. I want you to focus on appreciating what your body has done and what it can do. Think of all of the stress and all of the crap that you've been putting it through in the last few years, and just be grateful to be alive, that your body carried you through all that. And it took all the toxins. Maybe it's alcohol, maybe it's sugar, maybe it's drugs, whatever you've done to your body, it has persevered, and it has found a way to keep you alive so that you can make it to this point where you have found a need to change, okay? And that's the first step, is wanting to change and wanting to tell your body that this body is great. Thank you for helping me get this far. So this month, set simple goals like drinking more water, ditching junk food, making sure I get enough food, eating raw produce sometimes, eating an extra piece of fruit every day instead of a piece of cake. Sugar in one form is actually better than the other, but they still taste like sugar, right? So if you're doing a workout schedule, the biggest thing I want you to do is don't ever feel like you're behind. Keep doing the workout in order. So if you have chest one day, legs the next day, back the next day, shoulders the next day, that's fine. But if you don't do them consecutively, that's great too. If you have to do one workout, take a day off, one workout, take a day off, that's great. Never feel like you're behind because your body wants you to take a rest day. It takes a long time to get conditioned where you can work out multiple times a day or multiple days in a row. I wasn't able to do it until very recently, and I've been doing this now tomorrow is starting my 9th month. And there was times when I could only do 2 or 3 workouts a week. And they were only 30-minute yoga workouts, and that's all I could do. But that was better than doing nothing, and it was better than giving up. So do what your body is ready to do, nothing more, nothing less. This is an excuse. This is not an excuse to not do what you need to do. But it is an excuse to cut yourself some slack. But never feel trapped by your body. Realize that holding on to weight is a defensive mechanism for all that stress that you have, and wanting to hold on to extra energy for the tough times. Our bodies are designed to make sure that we don't starve to death and die. And until you start talking to your body and you let it know that those tough times of famine are never going to come, it's going to continue to hold on. And then even if you do look at it and you say, hey, look, it's okay. We don't need to be fat anymore. We don't need all this extra stored calories. It's not going to believe you until you start filling it full of nutrient-dense food like fresh produce, okay? So the more fruits and vegetables you can get into your body, the better your body is going to be at reacting. It's going to be like, all right, I've got all these vitamins and minerals I need. I don't need to hang on to all these extra calories because I am not lacking the things that I need to help you have a healthy, strong, wonderful body that's going to live until you just can't do it anymore, which is hopefully old. And maybe you'll be like those 70, 80-year-old women or men who are still bodybuilding and doing competitions, and they look freaking amazing. That's my goal. I mean, I would like to look that good now, let alone then, but it isn't going to happen if I'm sitting on my butt and treating my body like it's a circus with that YOLO mentality. And the thing about YOLO is you do only live once, right? So why are you going to risk the opportunities that you have by being dumb or reckless? So your body is your only true home, and it fights every single day for you. And when you're stressed and you're eating like crap and you're negative to yourself, your body is lonely. It's scared and it's longing for love, and it's longing for a love that no one else will be able to give except for you. And because your body is your only true home, now is the time for you to fight for it. So many of you know that my team is called Do It For You Power. And that's the important goal here, is that you are going to do this for you, for your body, for your home, for the longevity of your life, so that you can go on and spread whatever love and grace and whatever your mission is with this world. Because the happier you are, the more that's going to reflect into everything that you do. You're going to be able to love better. You're going to be able to walk up the stairs better. You're going to be able to make better choices and think better and not have headaches and not hurt all the time. And it's not a quick fix. I'm starting my 9th month and I still struggle with these things. But I apologize. This has now been 17 minutes. So I'm also going to copy and paste what I had to say in case you don't want to watch the 17-minute video. But it was long too. Anyway, I hope that you get the point that life isn't worth living if you don't want to get out of bed in the morning. And the only way to get out of bed and want to get out of bed in the morning is to start to love yourself and to start to treat yourself like you love it. Treat yourself the way you want to be treated by others. Okay? That's the golden rule. Just flip it back on you. Because it doesn't matter what anybody else says. If you think you're a piece of crap, you're going to react like you're a piece of crap. And you're not. Anyway, do it for you. God bless.